Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to BioShock Remastered. Let's continue. So we're messing around here, going kind of everywhere we're not supposed to be. I guess I can't actually get through this until I have the telepathy ability. The telekinesis, not telepathy. So I have to move back to the... Well, I believe the story is pointing us. Last recording we ran into a little bit of trouble. I am full of buckshot. Interesting. Am I really? So if I go over here to the shotgun and then just hit reload, I can't carry anymore. Interesting. I only have 8 electric buckshot. And I have no fire buckshot. And when you change your weapon, it unfills your... I believe I've already been through this whole section. So we need to run back here and move the story forward in the appropriate way. Get ready.
What is the greatest lie ever created? What is the most vicious obscenity?
So we went to this little extra area, we went to that little extra area, we couldn't do anything.
The Holocaust. Dictatorship. No. The tool with which all that wickedness is built.
Here we have Andrew Ryan
Out.
giving the speech again. And notice the subtitle is not mentioning any of that. So we've got a big daddy and a little sister there. And we got Steinman. Steinman, I suppose, is the first important character in the story, but in reality, he's kind of not an important character at all. A lot of them aren't. So what I want to see is... Ooh, no, I do not want to do that. I wanted to see if I'm going to a different area. Aesthetics are a moral imperative. So
why do we have 2 eyes?
The way you look.
There's a law that says we must. 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 ears, 2 breasts. Oh, God damn it. Someone get the nurse.
Yes, what he's asking is why do we have 2 of everything, and humans mostly are bilateral symmetrical. That's what that's called, and we do have 2 of everything, although we don't have 2 of everything. Not everything. We don't have 2 hearts.
Find some way to get through to surgery and Steinman.
We don't have 2 pancreases. We don't have 2...
I can hear that splicer sounding off like it's the 4th of July. Explosives are hard to come by down here. But if you get your hands on one of them telekinesis plasmids, you can catch the damn fireball and toss it right back in his gob. Or anything else that might be standing in your way.
So, I'm over here letting those 2 fight it out. Of course, those 2 might also decide to bring the big daddy against it.
Every day there's less and less. You know, the problem's not in your hair, it's in your genes.
Yeah, we don't have 2 appendixes, we don't have 2 pancreases, we don't have 2, like, large intestines, small intestines, things like that. So, it's a interesting thing to consider. Like, machine gun bullets I would still need in the lab if I was gonna bite. I learned last recording you can smash these and get electric health kits. But if you smash them, you can't use them anymore and you can't hack them. So, maybe hack it, but maybe not. I kind of depends on if you know there's going to be a fight in this room, and that would require you to have memorized all the fights, and I certainly haven't done that. Alright, so the game is now pointing me backwards. I have to just run back to where I was to get telekinesis. Interesting. Why are humans bilateral symmetric? We just have a lot of ancestors that were also that way. Double the organs, doubles the chance of survival if one fails, and also the more organs you have, the chance that you might have more cancer, but that's kind of a percentage issue there. You're not 100% guaranteed you're going to get cancer if you get another copy of an organ. I don't know anything that is trilaterally symmetrical, but I believe the earthworm is quadrilaterally symmetrical on one axis.
Go on then, take it off.
I might be totally wrong about that.
But I'm keeping everything. Everything!
We've got all kinds of new people after we already clicked through this area.
Lunch and we'll make a day of it.
And that some collectibles I missed, obviously. So into dentistry we go. I must have not been able to get in there, or I just totally forgot about it.
The moon
I'm drunk, smoking and drinking on accident.
The stars belong everyone. They gleam there for you and me.
Yeah, I must have just totally missed this area. Oops. Because it seems like you could just walk in here.
The robin.
Well, the game certainly planned for that to happen. Made sure I couldn't get anywhere further. Nothing back here. Rapture is flooding rather quickly. This is a really fast hack, so easy hack, so I'll do it. We have a decent amount of opportunity to succeed in this.
You know, the best thing in life.
Now I've got to find one more straight piece, and if there's no straight piece amongst these, then I would have to figure out some zigzag way to solve that. First aid kit. A full on first aid kit, so that one will stay there. We got the music playing. Let's see, here's a makeshift ball launcher that is there. Little trophies. And we get ability, telekinesis. You've run out of slots and have to replace the plasmid. You can buy more slots at the Gatherer's Garden. We haven't gotten there. Replace the so we'll get rid of the fire throwing
Throw
ability.
objects at foes. You can even catch grenades and throw them back.
Again, what is the world where this was an appropriate thing to be sold to a normal person? It makes it seem like Rapture from day one was planning for or hoping for war.
Clinical trial lot 23, Dr. Shawn, client Fontaine Futuristics. Work on telekinesis plasmid proceeding well. Lifting objects at distance presents no problem. Moving objects through space, no problem. Cannot stop speeding bullet, but can catch and throw a faster moving object. Problem not with plasmid, problem with reaction time. Sujan just get the idea for plasmid.
So this thing is shooting tennis balls at me. Bounce it off the forehead of the statue. So these are also the rocket launchers. It's just they've made this easy for you to practice.
Scrub it down! Trolling.
So certain events are obviously pre-programmed to happen. I'm wandering around with this wrench. I always feel like this whole wrench animation just feels like this guy is really violent. Now I have to switch to telekinesis and then here it is, and then press A to pick it up. Now we're in here. Now would I want to use electric bolt in this area with the water? It seems like the water's cool. As long as you're not too close to it. Again, we'll hack another thing here. Ooh, no. Swap. What is going on? I screwed up there. I don't know what happened there. My eyes were focusing on the wrong thing. Let's see if this speeds it up or makes it go faster. That was one thing we wanted to test out. I think it may actually make it go faster. So it's pretty slow filling up this square. And then once it gets here, no, that makes it go faster. So using those are more dangerous. I suppose that makes logical sense. We're looking for another tonic, I believe. Plus anything else we can find. Bullets and the such. See, notice you're on easy mode, so that was really a long amount of time it gave me before it set off the alarm. Either way you go, this guy's gonna have to be hacked. Man, you sure do get thrown into hacking quite a bit. I don't think it stays around as that important of an aspect of this game, but I might be misremembering. I know when I played the game the first time, I certainly enjoyed the hacking, so I would make a point of doing it, but I don't know if you had to do it. There we go. safe auto hack. I don't think I actually needed to auto hack that. I think that was an easy one too. Oh well. Electric buck. And doesn't look like there's anything else in here. So just some bullets. Alright, that's fine. Moving forward to back to where we were going. There is definitely just a level of... Where am I going? There's a level of extra sections, even though it's kind of a small map, sure. I'm trying to find the way out. And I believe it's through here, yeah.
Whenever anyone wants others to do their work, they call it their house. Never mind.
Here we go.
They say, think of the needs of...
Now you don't need the weapons per se. Splicer's trying to heal.
Launched with the words, think of yourself. Like the force of destruction.
So I'm supposed to catch this and shoot it back. There we go, finally. And that's a nitro splicer, and I don't think I would make a habit of trying to use telekinesis on that. It's just not what I think is worth your effort.
Hey fella, don't you want to take a walk with me?
See, there was a first aid kit that we couldn't get until that point. And see, I feel like splicers just kind of show up after you leave a room and come back. And you don't need to kill them all. This isn't one of those games. So, back to the section.
Approaching a little sister is a criminal offense. Do not approach a little sister.
There we go. He just came back because I needed to do that. That's really a interesting little bug there. That guy just cannot die. What if I just hit this? I guess I can't break a vending machine like you can a health system. At least not with that level of ability and weaponry. Never a bad idea to hit some of these corpses, just to make sure they actually are corpses.
Today I had lunch with the goddess. Steinman, she said. I'm here to free you from the tyranny of the commonplace. I'm here to show you a new kind of beauty. I asked her, what do you mean, goddess? Symmetry, dear Steinman. It's time we did something about symmetry.
So somebody drove Steinman a little crazy.
Get him! Have your harpies tear him to bits!
So let's go ahead and hack this. Now this one over here will set off the alarm, so I am in kind of a race now to avoid hitting alarms. Let's see. This way. This way. This. I need one more straight piece. There it is. Double check to make sure we got it done. Hack successful. Static discharge. Latest wartime, different genetics. Static discharge makes you a walking testicle or zapping anything and everything foolish enough to strike you. Alright, we'll equip that. So, the people of Rapture, I think they were paranoid of the Cold War. They were paranoid of potentially the US or Russia coming and invading their city. And I feel like with all those things combined, that they started preparing for a war that had yet to been declared, or maybe would have actually never happened. More hacking here. Sometimes you'll get into these patterns also that make it seem like you can go a lot further or easier. You'll already have the solution sitting there. I think I probably already have the solution to this one if I just change this one curve. Yeah. There we go. Double check. Hack successful. Now I do have a slowing ability here, which this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one. Give me that piece. Nope. Short-circuited. I'm full of armor-piercing ammo. That's nice. Armor-piercing ammo, of course, is part of the issue when we finally are going to take on a big daddy. And I've already screwed up. Alright. So I need an auto hack tool. It's this one. Nope.
Aphrodite is walking the halls, shimmering like a scalpel. Steinman, she calls. Steinman, I have what you're looking for. Just open your eyes, and when I see her, she cuts me into 1,000 beautiful pieces.
I think I wasted an auto hack tool somewhere. Next time I see a one for purchase, I'll buy it. It'll cost a lot. So I think we've been playing about 25 minutes now. It's important to save because, yeah, this is a 9-year-old game and it's crashed once. I think we may be running into our first boss fight too, so... this one, then this one, then this one, and then I only need one more curve. There we go. So hack that in case anybody tries to heal there. Aesthetic ideals. That's not a different area, it's just a different little subsection. It's strange how the game labels sections. Adam denies us any excuse for not being beautiful.
What can I do with this one, Aphrodite? She won't stay still! I want to make them beautiful, but they always turn out wrong! That was too fat! This one too tall! This one too symmetrical! And now... What's this, goddess? An intruder! He's ugly! 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 Hideous!
So let's go ahead and take our shotgun. Run into this guy. He is not going down with our fight. Now that barrel didn't explode, and that's surprising. Let's take machine gun on machine gun. I got him down to half his health. I had to use a health kit. I'm just running into bullets here. He's not doing much damage here. How about that? The reloading animation is taking forever. And this is on easy, remember? That was easy. So we have the emergency access key and some bullets.
You alright? It was time somebody took care of that sick bastard. Make sure you get the key off Steinman and head back to emergency access. I'm working my way to the backside of Port Neptune myself. We'll get there soon enough.
So let's hold this diary.
4-0 silk and down.
The nose looks terrific, Dr. Steinman. Doctor?
You know, looking at it now, I didn't realize how much her face sags. Scalpel?
Excuse me?
Scalpel.
Doctor, she's not booked for a facelift.
Let's just come in here and...
Doctor, stop cutting. Doctor, stop cutting. Get me the chief of surgery. Get me the chief of surgery now!
Search this corpse. Search this corpse. Search this corpse. And see, now I may not go back the way I came, which means I may not ever get that safe. Oh well. I suppose it doesn't matter that much. So that was the beginning of people going crazy because of Adam. I feel. It never comes back here, so it makes all the sense in the world to break these. And get the health. This one's supposed to be an easy one. Good, so maybe I'll actually succeed this time. There we go. I need one more straight piece. There we are. What's in here? A bunch of first aid kits. So, a little unsurprising. Again, in a very dark area. There. So we just had to come and get the key. These things explode, but barrels don't, or at least not on the first couple of shots. And you can see that the guns I have right now are not strong enough for what I need. So if I'm gonna go take on a Big Daddy, I would fail pretty much immediately here. That was one I had. Let's see. Bullets now. Armor piercing. Buyout for $64. I guess we'll try one more time, and then if we fail, we buy out. Oh no. Too late. $64. Will we get $64 back? No, we'll get $21. Armor piercing and a health aid kit that we don't even need. Not really worth that. The water seems to severely increase the amount of damage these guys take. So that is something to consider when playing. Make sure these corpses are really corpses. I keep expecting them not to be.
Call it a little light? At Surgical Savings, we'll happily work out an affordable payment plan for any major procedure. Potentially terminal illnesses won't wait until payday, should you?
So we're getting this Down Will Come Baby song. Let's see.
Welcome to the circus of value.
And auto hacks are not available, are they? For these machines. I guess that would make sense.
Sounds like another tunnel collapse. Welcome to Rapture, the world's fastest growing pilot joke.
So where did the tunnel collapse? Looks like this place is gonna get blocked off. Ah, see, this is breaking. And this is where we came. But we can't go that way anymore. So we go this way.
It's a little one. Here's your chance to get some Adam.
So we are now in a weird position. Because if we get this girl, jump to a cutscene.
Stay away from her, or it is you who will be shot next.
Easy now, Doctor. He's just looking for a wee bit of Adam. Just enough to get by.
I'll not have have him hurt my little ones.
It's okay, lad. That's not a child. Not anymore, it ain't. Dr. Tenenbaum saw to that.
Bitte do not hurt her. Have you no heart?
Aye, that's a pretty sermon coming from the ghoul who cooked up them creatures in the first place. Took fine little girls and turned them into that, didn't you?
We're missing the subtitles
You
here.
won't survive without the Adam those things are carrying. Are you prepared to trade your life, the lives of my wife and child, for Tenenbaum's little Frankenstein?
Here! There is another. Use this. Free them from their torment. I will make it to be worth your while. Somehow.
So, we're given this ability where, at least in the original game, it would be kind of nice in the remaster if they even took this out, where you could either kill or save these girls. And it's such an obvious thing that you're supposed to save them. Now, if you harvest them for a very brief amount of time, it will give you the maximum amount of Adam, but not over the long haul, because throughout the game, spoiler alert, they give you bonus gifts of Adam as long as you play nice and don't hurt any of them. Now, there was an achievement for not hurting any of them, so if you tried it once or something for some reason, then you would be out of that achievement. But as this is Halloween month, I'm kind of tempted to go against my instinct and kill them, but it doesn't even show it on the cutscene. So I'm gonna play the way I have to play to my conscience here, and we will rescue them.
No! 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 No!
It sucks out the Adam out of them and heals them back to normal.
Thank you.
Normal little girls that look exactly the same.
Not always easy, yes. The reward will become clear in time. Be patient.
And see, the game is even telling you you'll see the
Tenenbaum's
reward.
playing you for a sap. Those things may look like wee little girls, but looks don't make it so. It's so. You need all the Adam you can get to survive. If you cross paths with another of them gatherer's garden machines, make sure you pick up a new plasmid or two. That's if the price ain't too dear, of course.
So the other thing is there was a story related thing here that could have happened and didn't for no reason other than they didn't want it to happen. Because then you wouldn't have an option there. I really think in the remaster they should have just taken away the option. Now I need to go into the options though and see if the audio subtitles are still on, if somehow they got turned off. They did get turned off. How did that happen? Maybe when I crashed the game. Well, I didn't crash the game crashed. So that's that. Also in the pause menu you can see there's one happy little girl down at the bottom for little sisters in this level. So there's only one more to get. This was the first one we were ever going to get.
Not only are those little girls veritable atom factories, they're nearly indestructible. They regenerate any wounded flesh with stem versions of the dead cell. But their relationship with the implanted slugs is symbiotic. If you harvest the slug, the host will die. So you see, it's not like killing, Tenenbaum said. It's more like removing a terminal patient from life support.
That's not killing somebody? Removing somebody from life support? Let's see. I guess I should smoke cigarettes. Not in real life, of course, but the great will not be constrained by the small. The great, comma, will not be constrained by the small. And then I found this director's commentary too, which I imagine will be the last bit of this level, this recording. So, first aid kits also give you Eve for 80. How much do I... No, actually for 20. Armored shell reduce all physical damage. Enrages target, causing it to attack someone higher than you. Someone other than you. So I can go with health. I can go with Eve. Or I could go with Eve length. And the right move right now I think is health. Alright. So we need another 80 atom to get this. You probably would have only gotten about 100, maybe 120 if you had harvested the girl. So it's not like... I don't think you would have gotten 160 and been able to upgrade this. And I'm almost certain you wouldn't have been able to buy every single thing available. So, let's see what they have to say about the slug-carrying little sisters. They have a slug in their stomach, by the way. That's how they process the atom. And this idea of making a game that at least allows you to kill little girls. Here we go. We've unlocked it. Let's go ahead and play it and see what they have to say.
BioShock was groundbreaking in many regards when it released in 2007, though fundamentally
Sure.
it shared many consistencies with Irrational's System Shock series. What elements of System Shock translated into BioShock, and what was refined, altered, and innovated upon to create the world of Rapture? Let's take a look at the long road from System Shock to BioShock.
See, now that's yet another intro that you don't need when you're watching these videos in the middle of the game. Now, if they're going to show me actual video of the game
everyone knows where the game
instead of just
ended
video
up,
of the
but,
conversation,
fans will be interested to learn
that it
where
makes
this
sense to go full
game
screen.
or the idea
But really,
of
this
doing
should just be
game
talking
started. And I
as
think,
soon as you enter a level.
Folks know System Shock and the legacy of that game. Huge fan base. Did this
I
game did
actually
it start
haven't
as
played System
game
Shock
initially?
or System Shock 2.
No, I mean, because we didn't have the rights to that, right? We kind of felt that there was more game design to mine there. You know, that it was sort of, we did that one game, and it was sort of the first game that really combined shooting and RPG, and it was a very small budget. You know, it was a very small team, and it was the first game we had ever done, so we got pretty lucky, I think, in terms of how well it came out, but the odds were sort of stacked against it. And the team, was really enthusiastic about doing a game like that. And time had evolved, and the team was much more. We had done a bunch of games together, and we had a stable technology base, and we were like, okay, well, which System Shock 2 was not. I mean, that engine, no game had ever shipped on that engine. It was a very crude piece of technology. Most of us had never shipped a game at the time. So like, well, what if we had a stable technology base, and we had a team that was more experienced and more seasoned, and we had, an actual, like our director, and, which we didn't really have on System Shock 2. What could we do? And so I think there was a lot of enthusiasm in the team to really try to do a more mature version of that kind of game. This is before we had sold the company to Take-Two, and we were an independent developer, right? We were sitting there, we were using the money we made from other development deals we had, and we would try to scrape together whatever time and money we had to work on this thing. And it was not actually something I was particularly keen on doing. The team was much more keen on doing a sort of a System Shock-ish game than I was, because...
That's what you were pitching, right? Like System Shock 3 at one point, right?
Well, I mean, there was an actual System Shock 3 that we were pitching back in the day when we were right after System Shock 2, but that never happened. Right, we couldn't get anybody interested, because System Shock 2 sold like 5 copies, right? And so as the business guy, the guy who had to not only just sort of write the content, but the guy who had to go out and get the deals and pay everybody, I wasn't particularly excited about doing this, because it was very disappointing when we did System Shock 2 and nobody bought it. It got great reviews, it got these insane reviews, but it left us in a place where it didn't really move the needle for us in terms of making
I wonder if
payroll. So I
System
wasn't
Shock
super
2 was a
excited about it
PC
because
only
I didn't
game.
see how it,
That would
I didn't see a publisher
explain why
be
it wouldn't
interested
sell
in it,
very
and I
well
didn't see
back in
the
the day.
audience actually be particularly interested in this kind of game. And it was really the team who convinced me to invest in this because their enthusiasm. I think a lot of them came to the studio because of System Shock 2. And so finally they sort of battered me down. And it's good they did because I was not the first fan of doing this.
And I know initially there was something called the Serene Dawn. Was that was a spaceship? Or what was that?
No, that was
the name of a cult, right?
Cult,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right. Okay.
That one's, I think, been lost to the... If I remember correctly, Serene Dawn was a cult. You were playing as a deprogrammer that was infiltrating the cult, and your name happened to be Carlos Coelho, who was one of our programmers at the time.
It's named after him, yeah. Then there was a story notion that I always really found interesting, which was that you have these cults, and you have sometimes people who they're these sort of characters who are really live on the edge of
There's a game that's
gray
in development
morality,
right
which
now
is these
about
guys who
going
come in
into a
and
cult.
essentially kidnap people out of these cults or rescue them, depending on how you look at it. Because what it really is, from a functional standpoint, it's a kidnapping, right? You're coming to an adult, and you're saying, you're hired by their parents or whoever. And this was in the story. It was like a senator whose daughter joined one of these religious movements called the Serene Dawn. You said,
yeah,
Serene Dawn. And I always thought that was a really interesting tension of this hero who's basically a kidnapper, and taking a young woman against her will out of the place that she was in. Now, you could also make the other argument that, well, she was not really there by her will. But there's a really interesting conversation that goes on there. I think there was actually a Kate Winslet movie, a Harvey Keitel Kate Winslet movie, which dealt with a similar theme. Because usually you hear that story, these deprogrammers as a sort of heroic kind of notion. But I always thought that, well, there's something interesting about agency going on there, and about are people entitled to make bad mistakes, or is it a bad mistake? It all depends on the person. And I'm not a fan of religious cults or religion in general, but there seemed to be an interesting discussion of freedom there and independent decision making. And I thought that idea was cool, and that was sort of the basis of it for a while. But it was really mostly for the purpose of we needed something to go out and pitch to publishers, and so we didn't have a ton of time to really develop it, so that sounded like, all right, this will do for now.
And was that pre-Underwater City? I mean, this was just like an idea for a story.
We may have stepped away from that to do the cult thing, but then we went back to the underwater.
No, we had that one room, remember?
We had the one World War II room with the roaches on the ground and like these weird test tube things that you could walk around. I don't know where that fell. It could have been underwater. There was no windows.
The thing is, we were a small business, right? And we were trying to figure out a way to sell this thing with spending the least amount of money, because we didn't have any money. We didn't have a pot to piss in. So we would do this demo. That was one room basically, just to show.
That's an interesting phrase.
And we take it around. And I fly around the country, like, here's our room. It's a different time,
I'd recommend you look up with the etymology where that phrase comes from. It's
one
interesting.
Of the advantages we had is that we were so familiar with that engine at that point that we could really start cranking through, small rooms and lighting and making things look good. So
I took it on the road to sell it to somebody, and nobody cared. We'd go to a publisher, and look, they have to make money, right? And then we'd say, oh, it's sort of a spiritual successor to System Shock 2, and they'd be like, well, how did that sell? And I'd be like, my mom likes it, and they would be like, well, we can't, and usually we'd be talking to a fan. A lot of executives, like sort of junior executives, were fans of System Shock, and they'd go to their boss and they'd be super excited, and their boss would open up, their Excel spreadsheet and be like, no, we can't do this. And I think the pitch probably evolved as we kept trying different permutations trying to sell, but we were also out there trying to sell like 2 or 3 other things at the time. We had a pitch for a game called Monster Island, and
well, our SWAT 5 pitch was
Zombie SWAT.
Yeah, we had just come off of SWAT 4, which is like hardcore tactical, and we decided they wanted us to do another SWAT, and we didn't really want to do another hardcore tactical game, so we're like, what if we added zombies to SWAT? Like, you're a SWAT team that fights zombies and werewolves. That sounds awesome. And it was like, no, it doesn't.
And this is before, before zombies were a thing.
Yeah, these days that would
so
sell.
We came to this thing called Division 9.
Division 9, yeah.
That probably would have been even a bigger financial success than BioShock.
Wow.
But we couldn't get anybody interested in it.
We didn't have enough werewolves in the demo, I think.
We had 0 werewolves in the demo. Yeah, we're gonna have werewolves, aren't we?
Werewolves and vampires. So it's the
Oh,
whole,
really?
Yeah,
Werewolves,
the whole,
vampires,
like,
zombies?
just throw it
Okay,
all the Universal Studios monsters from like.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what happened is we couldn't sell it, but we were always sort of independent-minded. And so I said, well, what if we sort of did this in reverse? Instead of getting a publisher first and then doing a press tour on it, what if we sort of did the press first?
Yeah.
And we called up a guy, Andrew Park, who's at GameSpot at the time, who was a fan of System Shock 2 and a great guy. And I said, will you come out and look at this thing we're doing and write a story on it? And he's like, sure. And Andrew flew out and we showed him what we had, which is this very, very rudimentary thing about an underwater base. And he wrote up an article and sort of featured as this is the spiritual successor to System Shock 2.
Look
and the next day, the phone started ringing.
How bad the graphics
from
look
publishers
on that.
who now all of a sudden saw the article was getting all this pickup and all these comments and people were excited. And that really, I think, put it over the top in terms of being able to sell it, even though it was not BioShock at that point. It was called BioShock, but it was not BioShock. There would have been I don't think there would have been a game. We never would have sold it without Andrew coming out doing that.
My belly's full of angel's blood.
So, yeah, the little sisters are drinking the blood of the corpses for the slug to process into Adam. Which seems kind of like a closed system. It feels like that would just mean that it's taking some percentage of the atom from the corpses and filtering it out. So we've got a little bit more time here. So we'll make an effort of that. Notice there was no Big Daddy in that fight. He got blown up by the spicer.
What is the most vicious obscenity ever?
Let's go ahead and hack this just to be certain. Oh no. I was looking at the wrong direction. This one, and this one.
Perpetrated on mankind. Slavery. The Holocaust.
So.
Dictators.
They all have outstretched hands. They're attuned for the
This guy.
You're ready now. It's time to take on one of them big daddies. It won't be easy, but it's the only way to get the little sister and the atom they carry.
So it's now time for a fight. We've got this. We've got 24 armor-piercing rounds.
What's that?
And then. Oh, he's distracted. Hit him. That's no good. I've got 12 more armor-piercing weapons. I'm using my health like crazy. He is mad. I'm out of bullets of the variety. So switch to the shotgun and my tonic there help. They have a lot of money, and so she's really upset about me killing the Big Daddy there. There's basically a splicer in there.
How can I help you if you won't come to me?
Thank you.
And so they all look the same, but I guess if you're gonna make the argument that everybody looks the same in Rapture because they've adopted this policy of uniformity through plastic surgery, I guess that could be your excuse. The truth of it, of course, is there was only so many models that they could spend the time and effort to actually make. Now, let's go ahead and start picking up these because we're going to leave this area, and I don't believe we come back to this area. So anywhere where I can break a heal station and get some more health packs, that would be appreciated. But I also don't want to waste too much time. If we looked here, if I was going to buy like the replacement for the armor piercing rounds I just used, that would be most of my money, if not all of my money. So, am I really ready for yet another fight? Nope, I'm not. Fortunately, we're done with this area, and so we'll, in all likelihood, hopefully have a little bit of time to relax and regain our stature, rebuild where we are. Let's see, do we get the bullets here? And I guess wandering around the rest of this map doesn't make sense. So we have 6 health, 70. We need our health bar to go up higher. I think a first aid kit refills you to half your life anyways.
Are you almost back to emergency access? Come through as soon as you get there. You got Ryan's eye now. You won't hear them coming, but it'll be there before you know it.
So we're leaving the medical pavilion.
What happened to me?
Injecting ourselves like crazy.
That's just the plasmid blues, Mary. You just need to slow down. Before you ever your splice rate, remember, a smart splicer is a happy splicer.
Nurse, help me.
He dropped one there. And let's see, grenade box is empty. And here's the key to open emergency access. It's been quite a while since we've been in this area. Quite the side quest just to get the key to open this.
Security alert deactivated. Thank you for your patience.
I don't know how you managed it, but you did. Come through to Port Neptune now. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand.
Pistol rounds. And when you get to this, you kind of know. This is water and oil and blood all mixed together, it looks like. You kind of know you're done with the level. Now, it seems like you can travel to different locations. I'm not sure if you actually can in BioShock 1. It may very well try to make it seem like that, but that's not the actual case. Saving content, please do not turn off. Of course, the problem here is if I even step forward, I may very well trigger the next bit of the game. Now I want to hit the back button I just did, because I would like to see our map See, when you look at these maps, it is small areas kept separate by today's standards. A pretty small, pretty linear place. We're going to go straight around through. Probably right there is the exit, if I was to guess. Maybe right there is the exit. And there'll probably be some side quests there. Let's see. Goal info is X. No goal active. Hint is Y. I don't know why I would need a hint. Zoom out with the A button. Zoom in with the A button. That seems strange. Goals is nothing right here. Radio messages. If you were trying to see if you got them all, I imagine you would have to have a list printed out there. And then using your active changing your plasmid abilities. Press Y to change your current plasmid abilities. No. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking to see if the menu here gave us any way to change our loadout, but I guess you just can't. Interesting. Well, we can see in this next section, I have 80. Oh yeah, I do have 80, Adam, because I just rescued another little sister, and so I'm gonna get 80 every time I rescue a little sister, except for when I get the bonuses, and then I'll get even more. There are 3 little sisters in this area. That is now part of the game, is getting ready to and stocking up on health and Eve and getting ready to do as much damage to a very, very powerful Big Daddy. Very powerful, in particular considering we're still playing on easy, right? When did it go up to medium? Let's see. At some point the game turned up to medium, and I don't know when that happened either. It seems like the game realized it was too easy on me and knocked the difficulty up. Heck, I'll leave it alone there. I'll see if maybe that turns into, by the time I'm done playing the game, I'm up to expert or something like that. But I don't know. Is that what adaptive training means? I wasn't planning on playing on medium, certainly. And there's one more director's commentary. We have $400 right now, and since it only goes up to the thousands place, that is probably a significant amount of money, but we have yet to find the item that allows you to upgrade your weapons. And once we start upgrading the weapons, which I think is something you do in this game, I'd be very surprised if it isn't, then we can probably spend all that money getting the bullets to do more damage. We definitely need that to happen because they're not useful right now. It's way better to use the wrench and the lightning trick. Almost to the point where they shouldn't have even bothered to put any of the other weapons in the game and just forced every player to play with the lightning and the wrench. Anywho, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.